started today, you guys, and we're going to begin with our breathing, warming up our abdominals. I'm going to start folded forward over my knees, my most comfortable favorite position. Begin with your inhale, breathe in through your nose. Let that rib cage open up nice and wide through the back and the sides of your torso. And when you exhale, go ahead and breathe out through your lips. And let those rib cages come down and in together again. And go ahead and inhale. And exhale. And just begin to start to feel yourself warm up a little bit. Get a little bit of sensation of, with each exhale, your abdominals are lifting, your pelvic floor starts to engage. You draw in through your nose, and when you exhale, release the tension in your head and your neck and your shoulders. Get a sense of increased focus to your body, attention to what's feeling great today, and maybe what could feel a little bit better in the next 30 minutes. And let's take a couple more inhale, exhales here. Find your attention. Find your pelvic floor. And after our next inhale, exhale, we're going to go ahead and lay down on our mats. We're going to begin with our neutral spine position. Heavy tailbone, a little bit of daylight in your low back. And I want you to just start gently by imprinting your spine to your mat, drawing your ribs and your hips together, and exhale, release back out to your neutral. Just find yourself nice and heavy on your mat. Allow yourself to relax through the front of your head and your neck and your shoulders. Stay wide through your collarbones. And as you imprint, draw those abs down together towards your hips and exhale, release out. Just warming up your low back, continuing to work on your breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And let's do two more here. And last one. Perfect. And let's warm up those hips a little bit as we get ready for our glute workout. Let's send a straight leg out. Slide your heel away. Let your toes fall out to the side. Bend your hip and knee and bring it back around to the other side. So you're staying in contact with your mat. You're sliding out and around to come back up again. And you're holding your waistline nice and level and even as you come on through. And let's do one more here. Inhale and exhale. Then go ahead and reverse it. Let that knee fall out, but hold your left side steady and pull that heel around. Let it drop out. Let it lengthen and slide your heel back in. Two more. And just stay connected to your neutral. So your knee only goes out as far as you can maintain neutral. And then we're going to change sides. So hold steady, send your left heel out. Rotate around and come back up to meet in the middle. You're going to inhale, stay relaxed to your mat. Continue to think about your neutral spine. Working exhales to come around. One more time. Bring that knee up and around. And then when you're ready, let your knee fall out. Lengthen away and draw your heel back in. And reverse that. Circle, open up your hip. Find yourself retracing your steps, relaxing through the hips. Let's do one more here and bring it back up and around. From here, we're going to build on our imprint. We're going to go ahead and imprint your spine, and then you're going to slowly peel up onto your shoulder blades. You're going to grab your inhale at the top, and you're going to lift to comfort, which you're going to wrap here. So if it doesn't feel great way high up, stay a little bit lower here. And then slowly use your abs and your exhale and roll your way back down. Roll through your imprint and find your neutral spine. And again, imprint, peel yourself up, lift through your glutes, sort of have a sense of bringing them into the midline, and then slowly roll your way back down, one vertebrae at a time. Roll through your imprints and release to neutral. And again, draw your abs. Scoop, peel, and lift up. Squeeze to lift to a comfortable position here. Your weight is on your shoulder blades. No tension up onto your head and neck. And then as you come down, set your spine down, one vertebrae at a time. Use your abs and your glutes to slowly roll through your spine. Release out to neutral. Last time. Inhale to exhale as you peel on up. And now at the top here, let's give a little pulse up. Squeeze and dimple your cheeks together and pulse. And pulse, and pulse, and pulse. 5 more. 4, 5. Grab your inhale and then slowly roll your way back down, one vertebrae at a time. Release to neutral and find your heavy tailbone. Good, so we're gonna flip over now to our hands and our knees. So just come up nice and slowly and set yourself up on your mat so your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Okay, you're gonna start here with equal weight between your hands and knees, and we're gonna go ahead and round out to a cat and let your head drop down. And then you're gonna send your sit bones back behind you, lengthen, and bring your head back up. So you round, draw your belly button in, drop your head, your shoulder blades will come apart on your chest wall. And then again from the sit bones from your bottom, send them away, lengthen your spine, and just bring your head so your eyes are right in front of your fingertips. You don't wanna lift up too high and create tension in your neck. Let's do this again. We scoop and round. Pull that belly button in, let your head hang down, and send those sit bones out, lengthen, and bring your head up on your spine. Last time, we just want to make sure that our spine is nice and warmed up, moving one vertebrae at a time as we prepare to work our glutes and obviously our abs a little bit too. So from here, we're gonna stay in this sort of tabletop position here so that you're nice and flat. Your eyes are just straight in front of your fingertips. And we're gonna start by lifting a bent knee with your foot flexed. And we're gonna just do little pulses up and up and up and up. 5, 4, hold your abs, 3, 2, and 1. Slide that knee up under your hip. We're gonna change sides. So make sure when you go to pulse, your abs are lifted. And pulse, and pulse, and pulse. You wanna protect your low back here. So as you lift your leg, pull your belly button in for 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back down. Let's switch to the other leg again. And now we're gonna alternate leg reaches. So we're gonna stay supported in our stomach to protect our low back, and we're just gonna reach nice and long and bring it back down and switch and reach. So we start with just the legs, and we just work on this notion of staying neutral, of keeping our abs supported, of keeping ourselves in one long line, keeping our head up on our spine, but making sure that we're not overreaching or arching into our low back. And then after this next leg lift, let's add an arm. So we reach and reach to come down. And you're going for length here. It's not so much about how high you lift, it's more about the distance from your fingertips to the tips of your toes. and we reach and lower and reach and lower. Good job. Keep reaching. Watch that you're not overextending in your head and neck. Let's do one more here and come back down. So from here, we're gonna do what I call the little fire hydrant move. And this is just a side leg lift. Okay, we lift, bring it down, a bent knee. The foot goes with the knee. And again, all important, abs are drawn in, eyes are out in front of the legs, out in front of the hands. That would be interesting. And lift. And when you lift, you just come as high as you can without twisting in your spine. So it's a hip opener, but it's not a rotator of the back. You open and set it down. Open and set it down. Let's go for one more on each leg and set it back down. Good job, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead back onto our backs again. You're gonna lay down on the mat. Take your time. Go ahead and find your neutral here. And what I want you to do is one leg at a time, we're gonna come up into our imprint and hold ourselves here in this tabletop position. Your abs are engaged, your arms are reaching along the side of your body. We're gonna do the 100 because it just wouldn't be a session without it. So let's go ahead, whether you keep your head down, which is totally fine, or you nod your chin and you come up to look at your knees. We're gonna start by dribbling little tiny basketballs. And we're gonna breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach 2, 3, 4, 10. You can keep your knees in or out, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20. But breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inner thighs, 2, 3, 4, 40. Abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach 2, 3, 4, 60. Inner thighs, and out, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach 2, 3, 4, 80. Abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 90. Last 10. And out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Good, just hug those knees in, set your head down, let one leg at a time come down to the floor, and take a deep breath. And exhale. Perfect. So we are gonna go ahead and walk ourselves up to sitting. And I want you to go ahead and bring your arms straight out in front of you. And from here, you're gonna round and let yourself look like a little C curve. And from there, you're gonna just rock your way back. You're only going about a third of the way back. You're gonna take a nosedive forward and set yourself up with your arms at shoulder height. So we just roll back, pull in through that belly button, squeeze those inner thighs, rock forward, nose to knees, stay pulled in your stomach, and then rock it back again. So you're almost like the bottom of a rocking chair. You sort of rock back, and then you rock forward, and you rock back, and you rock forward. And just be careful, don't go too far back. More is not more here. It's actually less is more. Put the brakes on when you're going back and stop yourself so you can control what works for you. Rock forward, and one more time. Rock it back, rock it forward, and come on up tall to sitting. And then we're gonna roll on over to our stomachs here. You're gonna lay flat on the mat. Let yourself down nice and easy here. And I want you to let your hands overlap each other, forearm over forearm, and rest your forehead on your hands. Your hips go wide, your knees bend, and your heels come together with your toes turned out. From here, bring your abs up, lift it to the center of your stomach, Squeeze your heels and feel yourself dimpling your cheeks together. Hold it for a 1, 2, 3, and release. And when you do this, 1, 2, 3, release. You're squeezing those heels together, you're dimpling those cheeks together, and you're pressing your hip bones into the mat. And we're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, release. You may almost feel a release of tension across your low back as you go through this. Good. Let's do 2 more. Let that head rest down for 1, 2, 3. Release. One more time. It's 1, 2, 3. And release. So go ahead, let your head stay resting on your forearms. Stretch those legs out nice and straight and strong. So lots of energy through your legs. Now keeping your hip bones pressed into your mat in the floor. Alternate straight leg lifts from the floor. And I'm talking so much energy going down and out those legs. You're really pinning your hip bone to the floor and lifting to stretch. Lift to stretch the front of your thighs. Keep your belly button supported. You don't want to feel this in your low back. If you have a little tension in that low back, really sort of push that belly button deeper into the stomach and get your hip bones pinned to the floor. And let's lift and lower and lift and lower. One more on each leg. Perfect. And bring it down. We're going to do one more activity here. You're going to stay with your head just supported on your arms. You may have to look up for a sec just to see what's going on though. We're going to start with a bending of the knee with a pointed toe. Then a bending of the knee with a flexed foot. And then you point your foot down. Switch sides. So you point to bend, flex to bend, point to send it out. We point to bend, flex to bend, point to send it out. And then it just becomes like a pulse, pulse, lengthen out, point, flex, lengthen out. All good things stay the same. Belly button is lifted. You're keeping your hip bones pressed down. Your head is resting on your forearms. And when we do this, we're activating the back of our legs and stretching out the front. Set it down. Point, flex, set it down, point, flex, set it down. One more. Point, flex, and set it down. Take your hands, put them up underneath you, push your bottom back towards your heels, and fold over your thighs, pulling your belly button into your spine, and stretch out for a shell stretch. You should feel a widening happening across your low back. Take a few inhale, exhales here. Deepen. Big out one more time. You just want to make sure as you come out of this that we did a lot of extension work, and we want to make sure to do a little bit of flexion afterwards to protect our back. So we're going to head to our side now. The best place to strengthen your high glutes is in any side lying position. So I like to lay really nice and straight here from toes to fingertips and stack everything up. Hips, knees, ankles. Stabilize here with my top arm. My waistline is shrink wrapped and there's a little bit of daylight in my low back here. To start with, we're going to point the top leg to lift and flex it to lower down. Point to lift and flex it down. Point to lift and flex it down. And point to lift. Now stay nice and long here. When you go to lift that leg, don't let yourself shrink up at your waistline. Keep reaching through your torso to stay long and strong. Two more. Point and flex, and point and flex. On this next one, you're going to hold it up and you're gonna do little circles. We're gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let that leg come down. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna squeeze the other leg to meet it, and they come down together. So you lift, you meet, you come down as a team. And I like this arm to be down here. You don't have to, but for me, I just feel a little more balanced, like I'm not gonna topple over one way or the other. But if you're feeling good and you don't need it, come on down. I just kind of feel like I do. And lift and lower. Point to lift, squeeze, and lower. One more time. Squeeze and lower. From here, let's bend our knees. And let's bring a whole leg up and a bent leg down. And a bent leg and knee up and a back down. So it's sort of like that fire hydrant again, but the hip opens up to gravity. A little more resistance. We're working those high glutes. Really important muscles to protect your low back and stabilize your pelvis. So really great for strength, for performance, for fitness, and also for pain relief if you struggle with low back issues. Good. 3 and 2. Last one, and bring it down. Good. Let's go ahead and change sides. So we're just gonna flip on over to the other side and repeat everything we just did. So stretch it out nice and long and strong here. Okay, make sure you're stacked up, shrink wrapped, mouse hole, stable shoulder blade, eyes out in front of you. We point to lift and flex to lower. Good. You know the drill here. Inhale, exhale, stay long and stretched out through your torso. Keep working those abs, excuse me, to maintain a nice shrink-wrapped waistline, and bring it up and flex it down. Last 3, let your head rest. Try not to hold any tension into your neck and shoulders, and bring it down. And on the next one, we're up and we're gonna circle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it down, give it a little rest for a sec, and then we're gonna go up and squeeze and bring them back down. Excuse me. And lift and bring it back down. Good. And squeeze and bring it down, and lift to squeeze and bring it down. And you may notice one side is a little harder than the other. That's pretty normal. Just do your best here. Let's go 1 and 2, and then we're gonna go back to our fire hydrant where we bend and lift. Good. That's it. Excuse me. Hold yourself steady here through your torso and your waist, and lift and lower. And keep your foot in line with your knee and your hip so it all goes up as one and comes back down. Keep your back nice and straight and strong. Abs are lifted. And let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Really good. And then we're gonna come on up to sitting here. And we're gonna sit in our mermaid position. Okay? And so we're here, we're holding our mermaid position here. And what I want you guys to try and do, you can see that my legs are side swept in front of me. Without using your hands, or as little as possible, I want you to come around and side sweep the other way. Hopefully you have room in your mats. We're all working in these really interesting spaces. Good, so just do the best you can. The practice here is to work on the rotation internal and external rotation of our hips, but to do so without the use of our hands, so we have to work our core here too. You come around and come around. Good, let's do that one more time. Good job. It's not an easy thing to do. And come back around. And then let's finish up. I want to do a side plank because honestly, it's one of my absolute favorite ways to strengthen those high glutes that I was just telling you about. So you want to line yourself up in this straight line. Your knees are bent at 90 degrees. You're supported on your shoulder, but when you come to lift this bottom hip, I want you to try to avoid like grinding through your shoulder and really coming up from your hip and your butt. So when you lift, it's a lift from under here and a squeeze of the cheeks more so than a push through the shoulder. And then you set those hips down. So you lift, you look like a rainbow shape, and you set your hips down. Keep the waistline shrunk up, pick yourself up from your hips, and come down. And we lift. Inner thighs are connected right now. We'll add a little twist to that in a minute. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Now on this next one, when we come up, we're gonna add a top leg lift. So we're up and we lift. 2, 3, 4, we're going to 8, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We set it down, bring our hip down one more time. Good. Come on up with me and lift the whole leg. 2, foot comes with 3, 4, 5, stay tall. 6, eyes out in front of you. 7 and 8, come together and set it down. Woo! Good job. All right, let's hit the other side and we are good to go. So let's get ourselves lined up again. Hardest part is just making sure you have this nice straight alignment. 90 degrees at the knee, the elbows under your shoulder, and you lift and lower with control. And you lift and really squeeze from this bottom hip. Try not to press real hard through the shoulder. Just use the shoulder as like a little bit of a support beam, but it's not the driving force of the motion. It's the hips coming up and the hips that come up. And let's go 3 and 2. And on this last one, you know what to do. And lift and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, set the hip down. Last one, we got this, guys. Lift it up for 8, 7, 6, cinch up that waist. 5, stay tall. 4, eyes in front of you. 3, 2, and 1. And set it down and bring it back down. And that is your 30 minutes of glutes. Thank you guys, you did an awesome, awesome job.